Welcome to the Veterans Ascend weekly podcast. Today, we are honored to talk with Hal Westmoreland. Hal is the owner of Professional Network Connections, which we'll hear about today, and among other things, he is also an Army veteran. Hal served as a pilot in command for CH-47 Helicopter Battalion. He held various positions in the company and battalion offices, and his last position was the Flight Operations Officer for Bravo Company 7th of the 101st. We have the privilege today to hear about Hal's journey and transition, PNC, and the benefits of networking, along with his advice to our veteran community on transition and finding their next career. Hal, thank you for your time today. We really appreciate you being on. So please tell us a little bit about your military background and your transition.
Sure. Well, thank you, first of all, for contacting me and let me talk about this and talk about our company. Our mission is always to help vets as much as we can. So my transition out of the military, I was a captain pilot, and I didn't go through some of the channels that a lot of people did. I don't think they gave me all the information I needed. So a lot of my stuff was just kind of hitting the ground running, which is what we're used to in the military anyway. And I had some success with that. Again, a lot of my success was based on contacts that I had, people that I knew, which is why I like networking so much. I think it's just extremely critical to get out there and network with people, not only just for business purposes, but for your own personal needs too, so you can find a job, so you can be known in the community, so people know your talents and skill sets. So that's the main reason I bought Professional Network Connections. I've had it for about 6 years. And we have approximately 11 teams in the upstate of South Carolina right now, from Spartanburg down to Anderson. And we're looking to open up a couple more. I encourage any veteran that is looking for a job to get in touch with us and attend some of our networking meetings during the day. We also have after hours events where several of our teams come together, and a lot of guests are there also. And it's just a great way to kind of meet new people. You can tell them about your background, what you do, and hopefully find some connections here that might be able to land you the job we're looking for.
Awesome. So your role at PNC, Hal, is just the owner and kind of bringing these groups together and coordinating those groups?
Correct, yeah. So just to back up a little bit, the company is probably about 20 years old in that neighborhood, and the founder is actually Debbie Griffith Brown, and she started this. It was one of the first places I'd ever networked, and I was one of her first presidents of a team. And I just kind of stayed with her on and off over my career from as I transitioned from project manager to sales and stuff like that. So when it was important for me to get out and make connections again, I went right back and saw her and joined some teams of her as well. About 6 years ago, her health conditions were such that she decided to put it up for sale. She came to me first, and I made an offer that I am very happy with, and she's happy that the company itself is not going to go downhill, and that we've been able to revive it and get it back on its feet again. So I'm really proud of where we're at right now. But yeah, my job basically, I do try to attend all the team meetings just so that I can see how they're working, what we might need to fine tune a little bit. But my job basically is to focus on growth. And to help people connect. So like if you're coming into one of our teams, I want to make sure that you're in the right team. My goal is not just to bring you into Professional Network Connections, but it's actually to find a team that's going to work for you and to help you connect with people. So, and that plus working our social media campaign right now, we've got a big push where we have someone handling our social media, our SEO results for our web design. We're doing some videos and some photography. And really just trying to push the company right now to kind of get the presence and out there a little bit more on the web and get well known if we can on that side of the community. So yeah, so my big goal right now is just the big picture: where are we going, where are we headed, what can I do to make that dream come true in the next, say, 5 years.
Awesome. And it's really the word connections being in your title of the company, and that's really the key. It's the connections. And at Veterans Ascend, we're trying to do the same thing for veterans in a different way, making sure that they're connecting on their skills. But networking is so important, and making those connections. As we talked about before, I was just on the phone with a veteran who's struggling to find their next career, and it is all about networking and making those connections. And your group is great for that. So thank you for that. So tell us and we've kind of talked a little bit about this, and it's really kind of centered around that networking, but tell us your best piece of advice for a transitioning service member or veteran.
Well, one thing that I'm very fond of what you're doing there too. I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head where it's not just, we don't want to just place a veteran, and that's the same way I am in networking. I don't want to just put someone on a team, but I want to find the right team for them. And I think you're doing the same thing in your company. It's not just, hey, let's get a veteran a job so he's got some money coming in. It's like, based on their skill set, what can we do to get them the best job so that it benefits the employer as well as the veteran too. And I would say, coming out of the military, connecting with organizations like yours, I think is a must, first of all, because that's one thing I did not do, and I wasn't aware of those agencies out there. I know it's kind of hard for us too, as owners of our companies, to find those veterans. So hopefully maybe the podcast can actually reach out and find some of these folks and point them in the right direction. But, the big thing is just get connected, start making as many places as you can go that's free or doesn't cost a lot of money. Go to those, have your 30-second commercial. I'll be glad to work with you on that. If you want to sit down and do a coffee one day, I'll help you hone that 30-second commercial a little bit so that you get to the point. Because I know sometimes, as you've said before too, it's kind of confusing in the civilian world to translate an MOS into a civilian skill set. And so I think that's probably one of the first critical things is knowing how your background translates into the civilian market. And then once you do that, then getting that 30-second commercial down that says, hey, this is what I do in the world right now, in the real world out here. This is what I did in the military, and this is how I can help you as a business owner. And to just make yourself as valuable as possible. And take that 30-second commercial and just get out there and tell it to everybody that'll listen to it.
Absolutely. No, that's great advice, and kind of goes along. Our last question really is for the veteran to put their best foot forward. And would you say that wrapping all this kind of together, it's the networking, knowing what you want to do or what your skills will translate to in the civilian community and making those connections. Is there anything else you would tell the veterans to put their best foot forward if they're struggling to find their next career?
Yeah, like you said, there's one thing that they can think about too is there's a lot of aid to veterans to start their own business. So you could, like we've done, start our own company. I'd be glad to help you talk about that. One of the things we do offer is we have a President's Club too as part of our membership. So, we get presidents together once a month. We talk about issues like invoicing and how do you get a company off the ground? How do we handle employees, that type of stuff. So, it could be that you just want to start your own business, and that's very admirable. It could be a skill set like maybe IT or something that translates right out of the military, right into the civilian world. One of our presidents, as a matter of fact, is a former Marine, has his own company, and he's actually working as a contractor for a company that does a lot of military contracts to the point where he may actually go back and have to get his top secret clearance to do some of the stuff he's doing. So, you can do anything, honestly. You're not limited when you come out to say, I have to get a job or I have to go, get something just to get food on the table right now. I'd say, like you said, sit down and find out what it is that you truly want, because we need to be happy in life, that's for sure, because life goes by at a fast pace. And find the things that you enjoyed in the military a lot and try to see if you can plug those back in to a career that you think will be beneficial for you, as well as something that you could give back to the community. We do a lot of that too. We try to focus on making sure that we round out people as they come in and help them get involved in their community, as well as be a better employee for their company so they can land more deals and also better themselves too. So, one thing I missed in the military was that teamwork, and that's what we really try to do here at Professional Network Connections also, is really build a team of people, not just a group that gets together, but a team that's got your back that you can talk to about stuff. So, again, I encourage anybody listening to the podcast, if you're a former soldier and you need some help, veteran, getting out of the service, and you need to learn your 30-second commercial or where to turn to for resources, I would love to sit down and have coffee with you one time, plug you into all the things that we've got going on, and see if we can help you land a job or start your own career.
That's awesome, Hal. Thank you so much. I think that the key there is reach out. when a veteran's struggling or they're just, kind of trying to figure it out, don't feel like they have to do it on their own. There's so many resources out there, so many great people like you and your organization that will sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and just kind of look through the things for you and give you some ideas. So that's awesome, Hal. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you continue to do. And thank you for sharing these great insights today. Listeners, for more information on Professional Network Connections, please visit their website at www.pnconnections.org. And for more information on Veterans Ascend or to sign up today, please visit our website at www.veteransascend.com. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.